We're at the house of Hagen. He signed up for abuse to help me put the automatic in here. I'm not sure what he's thinking, but he said, hey, bring it over. So I brought it over. Mrs. Hagen is going to do the video recording. And little Mrs. Hagen. Alright, there's the burned up shit. Broken. This is the burned up clutch. Pressure plate, everything. It's not burned up, it's just whatever it is. Under here, we got the new flex plate on. We got to torque it down. Waiting for Captain Dave. This is a C4. It is in. I wanted to see the drive shaft gizmo, but this one does not look as big as that one at all. But I think we got a plan. All right, thanks to Hagen Speed Shop and Dave Hagen, the Falcon's now an automatic. We had a leaky wheel seal. I'm fixing that here. I got a few things to do to button it up. We had to redo the rear end. The U-bolts came loose due to the fact that the spring hanger is flattened out. With the help of Dave Hagen, that's all fixed. Pinion angle set, automatics in, training coolers in, shifters in. I just got a few things to button up and this baby's ready to go again. Right now we're doing the wheel seal. We got the old one out and the new one's going in. It was what do you want to call it? It was leaking. Doesn't appear that it was leaking onto the brake shoes, but it was leaking out the back. Then, over the course of winter, I'm thinking about going all the way to the frame with the fender wells. Just to give me a little more room. And maybe all the way up there for the front. I don't know yet. It depends. We'll see. Thinking about switching tire size. Alright, let's get this seal in. Okay, the new seal is in. Now we got to do the bearing O-ring. And then we can slide the axle back in. We have to zip tie up or something, screw up, something we got to do with that brake hose because it's hitting the rear end. And then the rear is done. Then we got to move on to, we got to fix our holes in the trunk. We're going to kind of do a little bit of something in there. We made fiberglass pieces and we removed them because, well, I'll explain that when we get in the trunk. Alright, we got the axle back in, we got our seal in, our bearing in. Up next, we got to put the retaining plate in, but we got to jack it up and get that wheel off the ground also so we can turn it. Then we got to fix that brake hose. Let it down. Move on to some other stuff in the trunk. Alright, here we go. We're working on the trailer today. The car ain't done, but I got a friend coming over who's going to help me work on this thing, get it how I want it, I hope. We're going to box the whole thing in. That plastic thing gets out of shape and just irritates the hell out of me. So, we're going to get to work. We figured out what we're going to do. Time to do it. Alright, we're in the shop today. It's Monday. We've been very busy. Built our little trailer. I don't like my caulk seams. I got to do something different there. I have an idea. Waiting on the lid, but this is going to be our little drag and drive trailer. We're getting the Falcon ready to go. We got all our rear end parts for that thing. And we got a 460 for the other truck. So things are happening, just not very fast. We got to hook up the transmission cooler fan. Repair some lines. Do a tie rod end boot, nut and bolt the front half. The back half has been totally redone. We're going to try to take this thing for a ride. I don't know if it'll be today, but I hope it is. We went from stick shift to automatic. Stick shift was just not going in third gear. It was terrible. So we're going to see what happens. But right now we're going to get busy on this thing. Alright, per the directions of the trans cooler, we got the fan off of it. We got to turn that blade around to make it a pusher, not a puller. Let's see, what do we got here? It says the fan is set up as a puller. To set it up as a pusher, remove the nut or C-clip, hold the electric fan blade onto the motor shaft. Carefully remove the fan blade from the motor shaft. Note, this is an and requires some effort. Flip the fan blade upside down. Reinstall onto motor. Align reinstall clips onto motor shaft. Reinstall electric fan onto oil cooler assembly. So that's where we are. So now we got to remove that little guy and install a new one. Alright, so we got our fan blade turned around. We're going to bolt it back on, bend that thing, put all that crap back on. Hook up our wiring. Normally I run a relay. I don't think I'm going to run a relay with this. I think I'm just going to run a fan fuse. I should probably run a relay, but I don't know what I would have activate the relay other than the key switch, the battery, and it would all come from the same power. So what sense is the relay when we could just use a fuse to do the same thing? There's some modifications we had to do. Yeah, we're probably eventually going to do away with this whole piece because I don't know what it does. I mean, it ties everything together, but we're going to make our own, I think. But right now, we're going to put this all back together and put the fan back on. Let's see what we can do. Alright, so here we go. We got the positive. It's hooked in over there. It's got a fuse in it. Comes through all that stuff. Comes out here. We put this little jumper on there. That way, when we run the black wire to here to make our fan into a pusher, if this little temperature gauge goes bad, we can just unplug it right there, plug the two together, and the fan will still work. So now we're going to connect this one here. And that'll just tuck up under there. And then there'll be another one right there. And then we got to do the ground. And that'll get our fan hooked up for the transmission cooler. Then we might have to redo these lines underneath. I don't know. We're not going to put the grill back in till we look. It's some hokey stuff under there I don't like. But let's get this other wire ran and get it jacked up. Alright, there's our fan. We got our grounds, our positives, our fuse. Everything for the fan is back in. Next we have to jack it up. I don't want to put the grill on until I make sure these lines are good. Had some issues. I see a puddle under the car. So we're going to get the jack it up, and see what we can see. Alright, so here's where our problem is. I see a couple drips back there we got to look at. We got to get some jack stands under here. Right in here is where we're going to be working. We have to redo a connection somewhere right here between the metal line and the other line. So that's what we're gonna look at right now. And then we got to put a line on the transmission cooler temperature sensor thing on the pan, tranny oil temperature. And we got to see what all them drips are. It's a little over full, so the drips could be because it's over full. So we are going to drain some, and then we'll see if we have any, clean it all up, and see if we have drips tomorrow. Alright, so that's what we got to fix. The ones in the back, right here, where it connected to the line, leaked. So now I don't trust those two. So we're going to fix that. Cover it all back up. Run it up to the top. Then we're going to go drain some oil out of this thing under there. We do got our jack stands under there, everyone. And then we're going to hook a wire up to our tranny oil temp sensor and replace this tie rod end boot. And then we're done under the front. We got to tighten our lug nuts up in the rear. Do our tranny tunnel cover and our shift knob. And that's it. We're ready to try it out Friday if the weather's nice. If the weather ain't nice, we'll try it out Sunday. Oh, we got to put the grill back in it, but that ain't nothing big. And then we got to start loading our trailer for the Buckeye Skips. But hopefully everything goes smooth and we make it. Next year, hopefully we have an overdrive. Or bigger tires in the back, taller. I don't know if we're going to go wider. We might go a little bit wider. I don't know. We'll see. But for now, we're going to do this. We're going to do that boot and this tranny lines. All right. We got the cooler and tranny lines done to there. Now we're going behind the front wheel to do the tie rod end. The boot is missing. All right. Well, we got our tranny line done. We're slowly cleaning up the shop, working on the little trailer. Everything is coming along, just nothing's getting done. No, it's getting done. So now we got to look at a tie rod end. And we have severe problems. That wheel is turned. This wheel is not. Wow, holy shit, that's never gonna fly. Something's wrong with the front end of my car. Because I think we have to take your car. Okay, so that's the tie rod end boot I gotta change. Or put a boot on, I don't know what happened to it. But I gotta take that off, put a new boot there. I gotta put something here to keep that from flopping. Look at my transmission. I see oil all over everything, but it's a little over full. So we're gonna see what we can come up with and get something done. But for now, I'm gonna pop this off and put a new boot on there. All right, so we got a new tie rod end boot on. She's all tightened up. Now, over here, we got to do a tranny pan temp sensor. And we got to drain a little oil out of it. It's way over full. Hopefully that'll take care of our wet transmission pan. And then all we got to do is the front side. And we're just about ready to take this thing for a ride. Got to check our lug nuts. But right now we are going to do the tranny temp sensor and drain a little bit. So we're going to get a wire And we are going to get a wrench and drain some tranny fluid out of this thing and see what happens. Hopefully something good will happen. We might get to take it for a ride today. All right, we got our transmission oil temperature line ran. Now we're making a cover for that big hole. We got some oil drained out of it. When we set it down, hopefully it's fine. We got to grease the front end. But we decided to move on to this thing now. This is a piece of black aluminum. Hagen Speed Shop gave us this piece of metal. And we're going to try to make it into some kind of tunnel cover. Hopefully. So that's what we're working with. That's what we're working on. So far, it'll be this long. This part will be a lip bent. And this part will be a lip bent. To keep it upright some, I think. We won't bend that till we see what we need to do. But right now we're measuring it out to see how we want to do this. And so far we got it divided down the middle. And here, there, and everywhere. Alright, I'm going to get back to work on this thing. Alright, this is going to be our tranny tunnel cover so far. Hopefully, we'll shrink this down, shrink that down, or stretch it, whatever we got to do here. And this will cover our hole in our transmission tunnel. I hope. This is my first test fit. I could be totally wrong, because this is just 100% guesswork. And I gotta clear that stupid I gotta make a notch for that cable. Let's go over to the other side and see what we gotta do to clear the cable. But I think it'll work. We may not have to bend those ends though. Those may get cut off. I don't know. Let's see what we got here. Always something in the way. Like those stupid things. So we're gonna have to notch for the tunnel right there. Even though it's way over here. I don't think we're going to have to do anything for that. Seems like we're going to make that. So we may not have to fold any of that. Just trim it off. Notch for that. We got to run. That's our neutral safety. That's our line lock. Those lines all have to run through there somewhere. And then our transmission temperature line has to come up through there somewhere. So I think we got to notch a big hole for this right there. But first, we got to make room for everything else. So it's going to have to be done. The back, we can bow a little bit more, put a couple screws in it. The front, we're going to have to get this to come up through there somewhere. Maybe we won't have to put as much. we're definitely going to have to notch out that corner to clear the cable. Which will be fine, because we'll bring this up through there with it. This is our temp sensor for our transmission. We'll bring it right up through there with the shift cable. So the back we're going to make flush, I think. The front we're going to put the lip. We're going to try to shrink that. Then we're going to notch that for that. Okay, I think that it's going to work. So now we have over there, I have shrinker stretchers. I don't know which one I need to use on that mess, but we're going to try something. We don't have nothing to lose, because if I bend it, it's not going to have a curve. So I think I need to shrink it. I don't know. I buy all these tools, but I really don't know how to use them. I teach myself. Alright, so this is our tunnel piece. This is where the cables and wires come through. This is some plastic protectant on it to keep it shiny. Here's some insulation. So right now, we're going to insulate on the back side. So I got to get my glue, get a brush. We're going to glue this, glue that. We're going to glue it all down and see what it does. I might have some spray glue. I don't know if I do or not. I used to 100 million years ago, but it's not looking so good as of now. So we'll be using brush on glue. I have a whole crap ton of that. So that's what we're going to go with. We're going to brush some glue on here, brush some glue on here, let it dry, and stick them together. And then we'll start mounting it. Alright, so we applied some glue to some insulation, some glue to the tunnel cover. And now we're going to let that dry a little bit here. And then we're going to press them together. And then we'll put a piece of hose right there to keep it from cutting anything. Trim it. And I think we got it. We can screw it down. Peel the plastic up. We got to do a little something right there. I'm not sure what I'm going to do there yet. But I have an idea of what I want to do. We'll see if it works. But that's it for that. Alright, we got one more corner on the trailer. We siliconed it. We put silicone between them, over them. Then we're putting this waterproof RV sealant over top of that. Hopefully everything will stay dry. If it stays dry and it works, for next summer we'll paint it. But for now, we just want to get it done and have it stay dry. Here's our insulation stuck on our tranny tunnel. We rolled it out. Now we'll get a knife and trim it and see how it fits. So far, so good. Alright, here's our tunnel. We got some protectant on it. We got some insulation on it. Let's go see if we can get this baby in there. See what it does for us. Should do everything we need, I think. I hope. So this will go around all those wires right there, around the shifter cable, and go down right there. And I think that'll be okay. Right there's our other tranny line. That should clear it just fine. And it should go down just like that. Let's see what happens. Well, she's back together. Alright, car's pretty much done. All we gotta do is hook up the wires for the temperature gauge. Took it for a ride last night. Everything seems okay. We're working on our trailer lid. We haven't done much about the trailer, but we got one bushing mounted. This little guy here will get mounted right in there to hold the other bushing. And then we'll have one hinge on, and then we'll check for the other the other hinge on the other side. One at a time. We put a seal on it. Hopefully this works. We're trying. But now we got to mount this to there, like so, and drill a hole in it so that it'll line up with that hole over here. It's got to line up with this. So we marked where that goes, so we're going to measure up and try to get it as close as we can. So let's see how we can do that. All right, we got the lid mounted. Figured out it's coming. Actually, I kind of like it. It's doing really, really good. Got the corners on. We got to cut that off. Put another nut on. All right, here we are. Our little trailer is done. Ready to ride. Car's done. Ready to ride. We got a few things to put in it still, but other than that, it's ready to go. We're gonna finish loading our stuff up in it here. We gotta scrape some stuff off over here and stuff. We're gonna go get a razor blade and do that now, I think, and load it up. But it's done. Top makes a nice table to do some work on if we need it. It's thick enough you can do what you want on top of it. When we open this lock, we can hinge it up. Works out really nice. We'll show you some more once we get it open. GoPro, stop recording. All right, here's the inside of this thing. She's all loaded up, ready to go. Car's ready. This is it. This will be the end of this video. A bunch of crap messing around with this trailer and car. Jill will edit it this weekend. Wednesday, we'll be at the Buckeye Skips. Remember, like and subscribe, Side Money Garage.